right. In 3, 2, 1. What is good, everybody? Welcome back to another episode of Platinum Podcast. This is episode 3 of season 2. Thank you for joining us. Thank you for tuning in from wherever, either YouTube, Spotify, Apple Podcast, wherever you may listen to your podcast. Today, I have a very special guest with me. I have a very good friend of mine, probably the only friend I have over here. I honestly say that. So we got Arthur Roques, a good colleague, a good friend, and a really good journalist. What's up, man?
Damn, that's a great intro. What's popping? What's popping? Yeah, like you said, Art. Just call me Art, man.
Art. Okay.
If we stepping into that friendship space, just call me Art.
All right, sounds good, man.
All my friends call me Art. For the rest of you, though, call me Arthur.
Right. They haven't earned it yet.
They haven't earned the Art. Nah.
Yeah.
But I'm good. How are you?
I'm all right, man. Just kind of trying to survive through all this. And yeah, how have you been through this quarantine type situation, especially with school? And, you do live away from your family too.
Yeah, that's a fact. I'm okay, but I think I'm okay with like not understanding what's happening, right? Because a lot of time when like the uncertainty happened, like people they want to figure out what it like, how to like try to get things to what it was, like the normal.
Yeah.
Normal.
They kind of want to feel like that sense of normal.
Yes, but I think I've like gotten into a space. I'm not gonna lie. When it first started, of course I wanted to understand what was happening, but I think I've gotten to that space where I don't care.
Yeah.
Not about the pandemic, but I just not that I don't care that things aren't normal anymore. I just want to keep living life like it is.
Yeah, man. I think it's hard for people to take in like this is the new norm.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like wearing the masks, being 6 feet apart. I honestly don't know if this is 6 feet apart or not.
It's 6 feet.
Yeah, it's 6 feet to them, right? Yeah, but I think it's just gonna be hard for everybody to, swallow. Like this is gonna be a big pill to swallow for everybody, and this is the new norm, and we have to get used to it before it's too late. I mean, I honestly feel it's like a little bit too late already, because people do not even want to wear the masks still. You know what I mean? Like I work at a grocery store. Everybody comes by without a mask, and it's like I have Minnesota people come by and like, why aren't people wearing a mask? Like you could get fined in Minnesota for not wearing a mask. And I was like, damn, it's like, I don't know what's up with Wisconsin, man.
Yeah, Wisconsin is its own country.
Yeah,
Wisconsin does not
I feel that.
follow the law. They are their own country. They do what they want.
Yeah, man. But your family's been doing good though?
Yeah, family's good. My mom is in the medical field.
Oh yeah.
So she's frontline, so that's I guess that's the only scary thing about it is that knowing that you have someone on the front line putting their life at risk. Because, my mom also got to come back home.
Yeah, for sure.
I've got my little sister, my little brothers, my grandma, my stepdad's also in the medical field. So they both are coming back home. Possibly, I'm not saying they have COVID, but there's a chance that they could possibly be bringing that. But they did every measure, every step possible to try to prevent that when coming back home. I'm sure that's part of the job of being on the front line. But yeah, family is good. My mom is in the same space. She's worried, but she's also like understand what's happening. So she's nearly close to it. So that's why I guess her worries come from. But everyone's good, man. I'm just thugging it out. I'm cool.
Yeah, dude. I feel you, dude. I mean, it's been hard. You are like an RA at school too.
Yeah,
right? Yeah. So like, how is that like dealing with like the freshmen, and how do you keep them motivated to do in school? How do you keep them motivated to like still interact with one another, but with these new regulations and stuff like that?
That's a good question. I think for me, I try to approach it a little different because I feel like everything about this year is not the same, right? So who am I to tell them how to feel? Like, who am I to tell them how to react to the situation that's happening? I just kind of let them create their own reactions, feel how they want to feel. If they want to feel mad about this, like, go ahead and feel mad. I'm not going to tell you to be happy when obviously this pandemic is affecting like
Everyone.
The best part about coming to college, which is your freshman year, right?
Oh,
like,
yeah.
Like that freshman experience is being taken away from them. Like they will never get to experience freshman year again.
Yeah, that's
so
true.
Who am I to tell them how to feel? So right now, I just kind of like, if they need advice, I give advice when asked. Like if they need advice, I'll sit down and be like, yo, this is how to move. But think about it. I've never been in this situation also. So I don't know how to move, right?
You just kind of walking by.
Exactly. So we both are kind of like holding each other. We're all holding each other's hands. You know, we're all moving through this together. So that's the only way I can figure. That's the only way I think as an RA I can help them is to go through this with them, because I'm also being robbed of my senior year, my last year. So
for sure,
we're being robbed of things.
Yeah, for real.
We both got some interest there, but yeah. So that's my. That's how I maneuver this with them. I just kind of hold their hands and just go through it with them. I don't have no advice for them unless they ask. But I don't know the best advice I could give them if we're both experiencing the same thing. You know what I mean? So yeah, that's kind of what I'm doing right now.
Yeah, man. I think a lot of people could, take that advice. Just hold each other's hands.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Not try to like belittle somebody, or not trying to like, oh, like I know this much because I read this article. You know what I mean? I think we just need to hold each other's hands and just be together, not like 6 feet together, 6 feet apart together. You know what I mean? Yeah. But moving into like school and stuff like that, you got an intern, like a year ago?
Yeah.
For
the midst of the pandemic.
Yeah, like legit. Where was it located?
Yeah. So I decided to do a exchange program in the East Coast, over in New York, New Jersey area, and I got an internship in New York, which is dope. So I was out there going to school in Jersey and going to New York City, 4 or 5 days out the week, which is pretty cool.
Yeah.
It's my first time being in New York ever, so that was dope. To live that experience. So it was a cool internship.
And you interned at the neighborhood?
No. I interned. I just got my internship at the neighborhood.
Oh, gotcha. Okay.
This year, I interned at a radio station. It's probably one of the big markets. Power 105.1.
Oh yeah.
The Breakfast Club. Angie Martinez. I interned for DJ Nala Simone. She's an up and coming personality there.
Oh, damn, that's nice.
Yeah, she has her show is basically targeted for the younger audience.
Gotcha.
The time that I was interning for her was the first development of her show. So like her show just started. They just assigned her, not assigned, but I don't know how the process worked, but she has just gotten that show when I started interning for her. So we kind of helped her with, helping her prepare for artists, doing research, how to get her brand out there, just all that stuff, man.
That's pretty cool, man. Did you get to meet like DJ Envy and Angela Yee and all them?
No,
and Charlamagne?
No. I wish, right? I had so many like occasions. Actually, COVID ruined my chance to meet Charlamagne, man.
Really?
Yeah.
Damn.
But it didn't rob me of like. I'm not mad that I didn't meet Charlamagne. Yeah, I feel like everything happens for a reason, right? So maybe it just wasn't my time. Because at that time, I wasn't doing anything to like meet him. I was just an intern, right?
Yeah.
But what I mean by doing something is I feel like when I meet somebody that I idolize, I want to be able to explain what I'm doing present to get myself to where they are, But I wasn't doing anything. I was just an intern. I mean, that's part of the process, but it wasn't completely put together as it is now, right? Because I was a junior at the time, so I was still trying to figure
shit out.
Yeah. And now I got it all figured out. So now if I meet with him, I can break down my process and what I want to do to get to where he's at and what I am doing to get to where he's at. So now it'll be different, but it's all right. COVID ruined that point, but everything happens for a reason.
Yeah, man. I mean, I totally agree with that, because it's like, sometimes you think you're ready for the opportunity, but yet whatever, a higher power or something just says not yet.
Yeah.
Be patient.
That's
you know what I
fact.
mean?
Yeah.
So it's kind of crazy how that happens. And how was the experience over there? I mean, you said you started interning there right when she like kind of started her own thing over there too. Mm-hmm. How was that like building that whole thing with her?
It was dope. I wouldn't say I built the entire thing with her.
Yeah. I mean, like, you were a part of it though.
Yes, I was a part of it. Yes. It was dope, man. I got to see behind the scenes just how radio works, just how, it really gave me an insight of how the entertainment industry works.
Yeah.
Of how, just the whole entire radio, just how that world, that space is like, and just how to maneuver as a brand, because people, podcasters, radio personality, media personality, all these entities are brands, right?
Yeah,
so
for sure.
It taught me how to maneuver as a brand, like how to put yourself out there, how to reach out to companies, how to, just how to be your own PR, basically, right?
Yeah, for sure.
That's what I learned from that whole thing. I think it was a great experience because I didn't know all of that, right? Mm-hmm. I'm from a place that doesn't have that kind of market. Like Minnesota isn't big and they don't have that kind of market. So
yeah, I mean, Minnesota is like big, but then like not as big as you want to take it.
Exactly.
Not at the level you want to be at.
Exactly.
Yeah, I feel you, man. So you mentioned it too. You're interning at the neighborhood.
The neighborhood talks.
The neighborhood
talk. Yeah. Okay. I don't know why I asked to that, but the neighborhood talk.
Is that a radio station as well?
No, that's actually an entertainment blog.
Yeah. Okay. And how long has that been going on?
That's been going on for a long time. So my boss is actually my boss Kyle. He was a former senior staff at the Shade Room.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. So him, the lady, the CEO Angie, and I don't want to cross boundary by telling his story, but I believe he were hands on and kind of putting the Shade Room together.
Oh yeah.
And he found his own way and got the neighborhood talk.
Yeah.
And became what it is. I look at it: the Shade Room, neighborhood talk, Hollywood Unlocked. Those 3 blogs are where I see a lot of people get information from nowadays. So it's so I don't know how to call it. Like you know what? I read an article the other day. Let me see if I can pull it up while I'm talking.
Yeah.
And someone described it the perfect way. And yes, I have it right here. Someone said, someone described the neighborhood talk as a platform that provides comedic approach to entertainment news.
Oh, that's
how I would describe it.
Man, that is like a dream to work at then. Or even the internet, you know what I mean?
Yeah. That's the thing, right? The thing is, I feel like I work there, right? Because he treats me like a staff. He doesn't treat me like an intern. Like most internship, and that's the beauty of like my path so far is like all the internship I've interned at, I haven't been treated as an intern, right? They've given me freedom to kind of express myself, tell them how I'm feeling, and they're open to suggestions. They're not just like, no, I'm the boss, you do what I say.
Yeah.
That's not how he is, and that's not how Nala was. And that's the beauty about like these people. So I salute to him, man, because it really is a dream job. Like, can you imagine you can just be on your phone? Like, imagine telling your parents, right, in this day and age that, yo, I can, I got a job where I just work on my phone.
Yeah.
Like, what?
And write stuff.
And write about celebrities.
And talk about stuff. And
interview. So I've gotten the opportunity to interview a lot of celebrities.
Yeah, man. That was my next kind of, section where I want to hit, like, which celebrities, which, up and coming, music artists have you met, have you interviewed, in contact with? My favorite memory is with DJ Nala Simone when we met Allen Iverson, right? He was doing his Reebok shoe deal. Oh yeah.
The release, the day before it was about to release, he had a mini conference where he was talking to people, and then signing shoes and all that, right? Mm-hmm. Him and Reebok, they put together this conference. And Nyla was the host. She was hosting the conference, and he walked in, and he was on a panel answering questions. Him and some other celebrities, but I remember Allen Iverson. I remember helping, but the thing is, I remember helping, with the questions, helping with the research and all that. And I just remember, like, one of the things that made me want to continue being a journalist is I remember Allen, like, one of the questions that I had, provided for Nyla, I remember Allen Iverson saying, "That's a really good question." And I remember just thinking to myself, like, wow, he just complimented me. Yeah. Because I wrote that question. He's like, "That's a really good question. How did you know that?" And it's just the beauty about, like, modern traditional journalism, right? Because people think that form is missing because research. A lot of people don't do research, and that's all I did was just I researched him for that entire 2 weeks and got the information, and so that was great hearing. But it was great seeing him because we got free shoes. I still have my questions right now, but yeah, we got free shoes, everything, man. It was like literally the dopest experience, and we got to work. It's just the bio is long, but I'm continuing that with the neighborhood talk, and I've gotten the opportunity. I was mad because it got rescheduled, and in this business, you kind of, once the first rejection hits, it's like dating, right? Once you get a taste of the first rejection, you kind of get some type of understanding of how to handle the rest to come, the rest of it, So when I started with the neighborhood talk, I did my dues, I put in the work, and as an intern, they started asking me if I want to do interviews with celebrities. I'm like, that's like, as an intern, that's impressive, right? Yeah, because it's like real. You don't see that. You're many interns. Doing some other people's the background work, right? So I'm like, cool. So the first offer was Mario and Eric Bellinger. And oh wow, Mario is a star for me. You know what I mean? Like, Mario is somebody I could tell my mom, like, "Yo, mom, I interview Mario." You know what I'm saying? For real. So I was excited about that, but it got rescheduled. That was like my first rejection. I was like, but and then the second one got rescheduled again, and it just became a trend. But I just realized that celebrities are busy, right? So any day their schedule could change. Right. So nothing is in stone. Any day their schedule can change, and you might have to just go with the flow. It's cool. It's just a part of the game. Just go with the flow. So it's cool.
Yeah, man, that's crazy. So what was your journey into, like, journalism and wanting to interview and stuff like that? Because I know I did a little bit of research on YouTube. On YouTube, you used to do this thing called School of Entertainment. Yeah. It used to be, what is it, Principal Art, right? Yeah. And I don't know how old those videos are. Probably only a few years.
Yeah, but just a few years.
Yeah, but what was your journey, or what sparked that journalism, like, inside of you?
Man, that's a really good question. That's a good question. Actually, my senior year of high school, I was writing my senior paper, and I was trying to figure out who to write my paper about. So I was like, well, I don't know who or what to write my paper on. So I'm just going to look up celebrities that have the same birthday as me. Oh, yeah. So I looked that up. I don't know what got in my mind, but I looked that up, and Angela Yee popped up from the Breakfast Club. Wow. Yeah, actually, funny, just side note and, like, funny fact, she actually just retweeted me the other day because I tweeted at her and I was like, hey, our birthday is coming up. And she was like, oh, yeah, that's true. Because I've done that, like, every year. Every year I tweet her and I'll be like, hey, our birthday is coming up. And she'll be like, oh, and she, like, never, I don't know if she ever, like, sees it or whatever. But this year, it's like, she was like, oh, yeah, that's right. Our birthday is coming up January 3rd. But yeah, going back to the story, I looked that up and I saw that she has the same birthday as me. I was like, oh, I'm going to write about this lady. So I kept, like, researching about her, and I was like, wait, she makes money just talking to people? Right. Talking to celebrities? Like, what? She makes money listening to music. I love listening to music. I listen to music every day. Right. I talk about music every day.
Right.
I'm with my friends. I'm talking about music. Like there's no point in my life where I'm not giving some type of opinionated, just my opinions about music. Right.
Yeah.
So I'm like, I want to write about her. And I kept doing research about her. And I'm like, man, I would love to do this. This sounds like a great job. So after I wrote my paper, I started learning more about radio, and that's when I started listening to the Breakfast Club every morning. So my senior year, I would wake up because New York time is 6, so I would wake up at 5 and listen to the Breakfast Club every morning. Like it's some morning where I miss, and I wake up like, but obviously I was in high school, so I had to get up. I had to be up by 7, so it was no problem for me anyway.
Yeah, you had to get up anyway.
Yeah, I had to get up early anyway. So, and then when I got to college, I heard about PSM, and I just got into that program, and I'm like, no, I don't really want to write. Like, I want to do audio.
Right.
But there was no like audio thing here, so I kind of had to create my own lane. And then I met a girl who did broadcast and graduated and got hired at a broadcast news station. Yeah. And I'm like, she went here and she found her own way. I can do the same. Let me try to find my own way to get into radio. And that's how I kind of applied to go to, East Coast. Yeah. And man, and it just grew from there. And I started the School of Entertainment you're right. Like it's been like a couple years ago.
Yeah, I think it was like 3-4 years ago, maybe.
Yeah, not that long ago, but yeah, maybe 3.
I think 3 was like the videos that I were watching.
Yeah, maybe 3. You're right. Yeah, so I started doing that and just giving commentary on pop culture news, and I realized that I kind of want to get deeper into interviewing. Yeah, so I started doing that more. East Coast was when I really started falling in love with like radio and interviewing, because that's like when you're in the culture, it makes you love it even more. Because when you're like I said, my mom is more afraid about COVID because she's in the front line, right? So when you're involved in something, like your feelings are completely different than everyone else. When I was out here, I love radio, but I didn't love it as people who were trying to get into the radio space that are in New York, right?
Right, yeah.
So when I got there and realized just how important this thing is to other people, and then that started rubbing off on me. I'm like, oh man, I love this thing, yo. So that's when I started really falling in love with it, and then it just grew from there, bro. Like it's
yeah, man, dude, I can see the passion in your eyes, bro.
Yeah, man, I love this thing, bro. Like it's insane, man. Yeah, I love this thing.
I feel it. Crazy thing is like, you might not know this, but you are actually one of like very few people that I look up to when it comes to like podcasting. You know what I mean? Like before I even got into this town and into the school, like our advisor specifically said, "Oh, you should contact Art. You know what I mean? You should contact Arthur for this." And I was like, "Oh, okay, sure." And I don't even know if you remember. Like I contacted you.
Yeah, I do. I remember
the very beginning of summer. It was like, "Hey, are you in town? Dude, let's
we had
link up and let's do this."
You know what I mean?
But that time you were doing your intern, so I was like, all right, I guess I gotta wait. Yeah. You know what I mean?
Life happens, man.
Yeah, no, I feel you. But I mean, it was a good reason for you to not to be here. You know what I mean? But I think it's just crazy how like, sometimes paths like cross and, people come and go all the time. You know what I mean? So it's kind of interesting to see like, man, like I like have somebody like around my age and is like doing what they want to do. Right. And like that's, like I said, like this, the main part of this channel is like finding out what you want to do, finding out your passion, and like just going for it. You know what I mean?
Yeah. When did you, if you don't mind me asking, when did you like pick up the mic and said, "This is what I want to do. Like this is my passion"? Yeah. When did that?
I mean, honestly, like my very first passion, like was like with fashion sneakers, like the sneaker culture, and like I totally just fell in love with it, you know. And then I always liked talking to people. I always liked, you know, content creating and stuff like that. So I made a YouTube channel like a while ago. Like this YouTube channel was made, I don't know, in high school, junior year in high school. So we kind of like found out our own things, you know, around the same time. But then like, yeah, I fell in love with it, fell in love with sneaker and fashion, started making videos. And then all of a sudden I was like, you know what? Sneakers are getting a little too expensive. And fashion, they're getting a little too expensive. You know what I mean? So I was like, man. And with the channel, I kind of stopped posting, right? And then I always thought, like, I love talking to people. I love conversating. And I love knowing their story, like how they got to where they are. Like, you know, that always crept up in my mind when I'm talking to somebody. And it's like, man, like, how or what steps did you even take to get to where you are? You know what I mean? And I always want to ask that question first, but then of course I can't because I don't even know that person. You know what I mean? So I was like, and then that was the time where podcasting kind of like started blowing up. I know podcasting has been around for a very long time for you know, like Joe Rogan and all them. So it's so it's like it's been around, but then I haven't thought of it as like, man, I could do this, you know what I mean? But then I also had that mindset where it's like, I like to talk to people, you know? So I kind of just switched the channel up a little bit and just started, you know what? I like talking to people. I'm pretty sure other people like talking too. Let me invite them over. Let me, you know, do some calls and let's just talk. You know what I mean? Let's just have a conversation, because I think the most that people get out of something is through discussion, right? And through conversation. And that's how people, well, at least that's how I learn. And I feel like with discussion, with like, I don't know anything about you, you don't know anything about me, but then let's have a conversation. Let's talk about it. You know what I mean? So it's like we learn something different just by talking. And I think that's the most interesting thing about like conversating, podcasting. And yeah, that kind of just drew me in. Like I told you in the beginning, like this isn't really like an interview. It's more of a conversation. It's more relaxed. I know like a lot of like other podcasters, it's really professional. It's really well put together. And I know mine is kind of like all over the place. I'm
gonna tell you why yours is professional also. And I think it's important to look at it like that. I think there's art. People don't understand that, because I've gotten a lot of people from back home in Minnesota, because I was kind of like that person who just like was that one person in the city who just was like getting the camera and calling people and like trying to interview them. Me and my boy Roy, salute to him, but we used to just go around interviewing people. And no one really no one understand what I was trying to do, right? People were like, what the heck? I didn't understand what I was trying to do, but I'm gonna tell you why like this style is important, right? Because it's hard to get on the mic and talk. Like people think getting on a mic and talking, like it's easy, right? Everyone wants to do podcasting. Everyone wants to do whatever, radio or YouTube channel. But when that camera is cut on, can you be interesting enough for 50 minutes, 55 minutes, 10 minutes? Like, can you have a can you have a conversation that's worthy for that lengthy of a time? I don't think a lot of people can do that. So it doesn't matter the format. It just matters the substance of what's happening, right? And I think you getting people story, like that's the reason why I like interviewing, right? Because everybody have a story to tell. So I think you're, in a way, you are telling people's story, and other people can take from that and kind of learn from it. So I don't think a format is necessary. Not like Joe Rogan doesn't have a format.
Right. He just goes on Rogan, and talks.
They just talk. And like what I use this as a life quote. And I always say, like, if I do an interview, I always tell myself this before every interview. If I do an interview with someone and I don't get a memorable quote from them, then I don't think that interview was great. Or if I talk to someone and I don't get a memorable quote from them, because as a person who likes to have conversation, you should be able to talk to someone and get something out of them. And if you can't get something out of them, then you don't need to be on a mic. And you do a great job of doing that without having to set up some format. So Joe Rogan does a great job of doing that without having to set a format. So I don't think you should downplay it, man. I think a normal conversation is dope. Like it there's a lot that can be created from that.
Yeah, for sure, man. That means a lot coming from you, you know. And I think that happens to a lot of people, right? I mean, we're our own biggest critics, you know what I mean? So I think
facts.
Yeah, I mean, hearing that from you means a lot and does motivate me to do a lot more with this channel, you know what I mean? And are you doing anything on your own, like having your own podcast, or are you strictly with the neighborhood interning right now?
I mean, I do my not obviously, that sounded so arrogant. Obviously. I do my interview series on YouTube with Rap Clout, you know, where I interview up and coming artists. And yeah, that's about it. That we're just trying to build that up right now. So that's the focus. That and, you know, trying to secure a job after graduation.
Right, yeah.
So that's coming though. That's coming.
What's can you explain a little bit about Rap Clout? I know I went through your Instagram and I was like, damn, this guy's been putting in work.
Yeah, content, bro.
Yeah.
Content. I was just telling I think I was just talking to a girl yesterday, I believe, and I was just telling her that because she's doing content also, and I was telling her you get discouraged when you see, oh, you get one like, but that shouldn't be that shouldn't play a huge amount into why you create what you do, right? Because you never know who's gonna see your stuff. You never know who's gonna be inspired by what they see.
Right.
So sometimes they might not. Excuse me. People are busy. They might not leave a comment. They might not like. They might not subscribe. But they saw it.
Yeah, they saw it.
Yeah, like
it's in the back of their mind.
Yes, and that to me is more important than a comment or a like, because a comment or a like just means more to other people, because other people see that, other people support this, then they want to support it. But I think people sometimes they run into it and they see it and they go, "Oh, this is dope. I like that.
I remember it."
Yes,
yeah,
and that's great. But Rap Cloud basically, man, it's just we put together. Well, I didn't put this together. I don't want to lie. I didn't build this from the start. Rap Cloud did. They built this from the start. They're actually located in Germany.
Oh, damn.
This guy, put together this company called Rap Cloud for like up and coming artists. Has managed to develop relationship with a bunch of record labels, a bunch of A&Rs, bunch of some established artists. So he's managed to put a lot of relationship, a lot of effort into this company, Rap Cloud. If you look at Rap Cloud, think of Say Cheese, like, you know, those kind of Vlad TV, those kind of those kind of entities. But he's managed to do that, and I just kind of was doing what you're doing over, or what I've been doing, not what you're doing. What we've both been doing over the pandemic. Everyone was trying to figure out what to do. Right. I told myself, you know what? Everybody's in the house right now. Right. So I've been trying to reach out to these big name rappers to get interviews, and I was not successful. So I'm like, you know what? But this was pre-pandemic. Yeah. During the pandemic, I'm like, everyone's on their phone, right? So I'm just gonna reach out. So I started DMing a bunch of people, and I DM'd this guy named Tight. He was a rapper. He just signed a deal to Atlantic Record. Yeah. Oh, wow. So he's doing his thing. Got a check mark. Got 100K followers. So I'm like, this guy's not gonna see my. He gets like, his comments is like flooded. He gets a lot of, so I'm like, he's not gonna see my stuff. But I'm like, I'm just gonna try anyway. So I DM him in my process of DMing a lot of people. I DM'd him, and 2 days later, he's like, I DM him asking for an interview on IG Live. He's like, yeah, let's do it. So I'm like, whoa. Okay, dope. So I'm like, this has got to be my best interview, because he's got 100K followers. That a lot of people are gonna see this.
He's verified.
He's verified. I gotta be prepared. He's signed to a label, so probably some label people are gonna see it. I was shocked, because normally the process of getting an interview with rappers, you have to go through management, labels, all that stuff, right? Right. Yeah. But because everyone was at home, people were just checking DMs. So rappers were just on the fly trying to do stuff, right?
Damn.
Trying to get press for stuff. So when he said, yeah, I did all my research, I contacted him back and I was like, hopefully he wasn't just saying that just to say it. I contacted him back. I'm like, hey, he said, yeah, that day, that same minute, I did everything. I did the flyer. I did the time, everything, and I sent it back to him because I didn't want to waste time. So I sent it back to him and I was like, hey, this is the time. Here's the flyer.
Right.
And then he was like, oh, that was quick. I was like, yeah, well, I'm trying to get this rolling. I don't want anything else to happen. He was like, all right, bet. So we set it up for the next day, and the next day came, he posted it. So I was like, all right, cool. I didn't want to post it because I was afraid that it wouldn't happen.
Right.
So when he posted it, I was like, oh, cool. It's locked in. Let's go. Official. So I had my questions ready. We went on live, and, I think it was like 100-something people were on his live. We were talking. I'm like asking him questions. I asked him a question. I don't remember the exact question, but I asked him the specific question about his music and life, something with his music and just real life.
Yeah.
I don't remember it, but it was deep. But I remember him saying on live, damn, that's a really good question. I've never been asked that before. And
oh, you know what? I think I saw this.
Really?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think I saw this one. Yeah.
No. That one never got posted.
Oh, really?
Yeah, that one never got.
I think it was a different one then.
Yeah.
You have a lot of good questions. That's maybe why.
Yeah. No, that one never got posted. That one because it was on his live, so I never had the option to save it. Right.
Oh.
Yeah. So
damn.
That one never got posted. But yeah, I remember him saying this is a really good question. And after the live ended, I thank him and I'm thinking, I said he's never going to hit me back. Yeah. He hit me back the next day. He was like, man, I've been thinking about that question all day, man. That was a really good question.
Damn.
And he was like, is there anything I could do for you? Let me know. I was like, I don't know what you could do for me. So I was like, thank you. The next day, he DM'd me Rap Cloud social media. And he was like, I have a good relationship with them. They're great source for upcoming artists. A lot of upcoming artists get signed deals through them by them posting them.
Yeah.
They have a lot of attention on them. I'm gonna put in a word for you. They need an interviewer. I'm gonna put in a word for you and see maybe if you can help them push this brand.
Damn.
And I was like, man, that would be dope. So they DM'd me and they were like, hey, Tight sent us a message about you. And Ty is a cool guy. Whenever he say something, we look into it.
Yeah.
And they watched all of my interviews. He was like, I love your process. You want to be a part of the team? I'm like, bet. So we locked that in, right? And
wow,
it's on from there, man.
Wow,
like, it was really. I just took advantage of the pandemic, bro.
Yeah,
I was winning through this pandemic.
Dude, that just proves is like, sometimes there's no opportunities. You just got to make your own opportunity.
You got to make your own damn opportunity, bro.
Damn.
You got to make your own damn opportunity.
That is a good story.
Yo, it was crazy. Like, I'm telling myself this thing. I'm like, I really took advantage of the pandemic. But if you think about it, everybody was on their phone. Mm-hmm. This was the perfect time to do whoever you wanted to reach out to. This is the perfect time to do it.
Right. They're locked at home, nothing to do.
Still are. It's still the perfect time to reach out to people.
Is,
a lot of stuff are being virtually done. So it's still a perfect time to reach out to people. Might be less, access now. Yeah, because it's like more things are open, but still, like, people are still at home, People are still at home.
Yeah, man. So talking about your questions and how you always, I swear, every interview that I watch, somebody always goes, man, that's a really good question. So how do you even come up with your questions or like your process? I know you said you do like a lot of research, right? Is that the main part of it, or is it just because something's curious that helps you come up with your own questions too?
Yeah, no, you see, you're asking great question, right? But so it's the same thing. I'm sure the process is similar to your question, to how you develop your question. But I always tell people, and I always tell the artists off air, because they always say, man, that's a really good question. I always tell them, I'm a fan of music, bro.
Right, yeah.
So I just ask stuff that fans want to know. Mm-hmm. Like, everything I ask to these artists, when I listen to the music, I listen to it as a fan. I'm never like, So it's a job, but it's, to me, I'm a fan doing like
you're not a critic.
Yes, I'm just a fan. Like I think that's how you should approach these kind of industry. Is there's certain times when you need to be professional. We all know when to turn that on and off, right?
Yeah, for sure.
But I just always look at it as someone who is a fan of music. So when I listen to this, I'm like, wait, you, why did you say this? Or like, why? Or if there's something crazy on the internet about you, why are people talking about this? So I want to know about that. And I'm pretty sure 99, you said this earlier, everyone wants to talk. If you give people, that's why this is great. Everyone, you put people in front of a mic, they want to talk, right? Especially if there's something that they hear other people talking about, they want to talk about it, but they just don't have that opportunity. Like say an interview, like up and coming artists, right? They don't have a lot of opportunities to do press or so this and the third.
To get like their own story out there, right?
Exactly. Yeah. So when someone like me, I'm like, oh, a lot of people are talking about this thing. Oh, so this is what you're doing? Okay, but I haven't heard your side. You haven't spoken on this yet. I'm going to ask you this to see what you have to say about it. That's how I do everything, man. Like I want to know as a fan, why is this happening about you? Why are people saying this about you? Why are you saying this in your music? What's the story behind this? Like I just listen to the music and there's a story behind it. If they're good artists, they have a story to tell.
There's a story behind like anything.
Anything that's constructed like well, there's a story behind it.
Right, yeah.
99% of the time, people want to tell that story. So you just got to get that. That's all I do, man. I'm just a fan.
Yeah, I was like, so it's kind of feeling like you're not even asking as a journalist. You're kind of asking like a fan.
Yeah, I'm just asking as a fan. That's what makes it great. And that's why I tell them all the time, I'm like, I'm really just a fan of your work. Like maybe not before that, but once, we get their music and I start listening to their catalog,
right?
I'm like, yo, this is really good. And then I start becoming a fan. Now I want to know things that a normal fan, like an everyday person sitting at home, are asking these same questions.
Right. Like,
so I'm thinking just like them. Yeah. Because I'm a fan too. Like I want to know this. So that's kind of how I do it, bro. Like it sounds like I'm gonna say something and it's gonna sound crazy, but it's really that easy. Like, right. Like it's really but then again, like it could be difficult to tap into that, But
for sure,
that's it, bro.
That's real nice, man. I think like it goes back to the passion thing. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So it's just like you have that feeling already. You know what I mean? It's just whether you want to get it out in the world or not.
Exactly.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, we're coming up 40 minutes. How long do you have?
I mean, we can talk, bro. I don't have work today. Okay. So yeah, we can talk, man. Yeah, I was trying to take my phone to see if I have anything going on. We can talk. I actually just dropped an interview today. Okay. So I'm supposed to be like doing press for it, but I'm also supposed to be writing. It's a lot going on. But
yeah, I bet. I mean, I won't keep you for too long. We'll probably just, talk about some other things.
Yeah, we can talk, bro. I like I said, people like talking about themselves.
Yeah, for sure.
Everyone like talking about themselves.
Yeah, exactly.
That's why this podcasting thing works. Mm-hmm. And, that's why I'm gonna keep saying it. Like there's an importance of having a platform that doesn't always have to have a format. Like
right.
Not having a format in a way is a format because it's hard to not have a format, right?
Right, yeah.
But you kind of somehow have it contained. Mm-hmm. So that's a good thing, bro.
No, I feel that. So one thing is like, what are the steps that a person should take? I mean, I'm asking for me too, as a fan, you know what I mean? What is someone like the necessary steps to get into that entertainment industry? Because you've tasted it, you've lived it, you've worked it.
Yeah, that's a good question. And people say that a lot, but I don't, maybe if I'm not looking at it the way people are, but I don't think I'm in the industry yet, right? Mm-hmm. I just think I just work for people that are in the industry. Gotcha. So I like when you said you've tasted, because yeah, I've tasted it. Like I've worked for people that are in the industry. Mm-hmm. I just got lucky a couple times, and maybe I just don't want to be like fully like, yo, I am in the industry.
I am in there, yeah.
So I'm gonna pull back. But you know, yeah, I've had the opportunity to interview celebrities, but I don't know if I am in the industry yet. I wouldn't say it yet until I get like a job.
Gotcha.
You know, until I get that job that solidified me as being in the industry.
So you get that bag.
Yeah, you gotta get that bag. Then I'm gonna start saying in the industry.
Right.
But, I think the step is just creating your own thing. Like when I got my internship with the Neighborhood Talk, my friend sent me the one of the staff posted on her story, and she's got like 16K, 18K followers, right?
Yeah.
She posted on her story, and my friend, one of my mentor actually, he sent it to me, and he was like, "You should apply for this." So I DM'd. She was like, "DM me if you're interested." I DM'd her. A couple of days later, she DM'd me back, but she was like, "There's a lot of people that DM."
Yeah.
To work for the Neighborhood Talk.
Yeah.
And she was like, how she kind of like decided who to go towards or the people to choose from. Because it was like, I think it was like 4 or 5 people. She narrowed it down. I was included in that 5.
Yeah.
And she said she went to people's page and to see what they have going on.
Oh.
And I was one of those people that actually had content on my page.
Yeah.
So it showed that I want to do this, and I'm already doing this. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So they don't need to take that extra time to train me on how to do this because I'm already doing it.
Right.
So that was one of the things that stood out. So just do it. Like stop questioning yourself and just do it. Because 9 times out of 10, people want to see that. Even if you're not getting the 5 million followers or if you're not getting the 15 likes or whatever, just do it. Just put out the work. Be proud of what you put out and put it out. There's something to say about confidence, right?
Right.
Women like confident men.
Mm-hmm.
I think that goes for everybody. It's not just women. Everyone like confident people. If you're confident, people are more likely to draw towards you because they want to, even if it's not to support you, but maybe it is to hate you, to hate on what you're doing.
Right.
But at least you're creating a curiosity for them because you're so confident. Mm-hmm. Now they want to see what the hell you're doing that makes you so confident.
Right.
And then they go to check you out and they either hate or they love it. Mm-hmm. So just put it out. Be confident in it.
That's true, man. I mean, there is a saying where it's like, if nobody is hating on you, that means you're not doing anything right.
Ooh.
Yeah. That's pretty deep, right? I think I got that from Gary Vee.
Gary Vee be killing the gram, yo.
Dude, he does, man. I think he does a lot of, like he says, he works backwards, right? He kind of like breaks things apart, and that's how he kind of sees the world, right? He doesn't.
That's a great way to see the world.
Yeah, like he doesn't want to put things together. He sees the full product and breaks it apart. And I was like, damn, that is like such a 180 perspective on anything. You know what I mean? Even like on life. Like, wow. What is one of your biggest like perspective of life? Like you're just like, I don't know how to put this. Like, how do you see life?
Man, damn, bro. You say hi, ask a question. You're like asking great questions right now.
These are off the top, man.
Yeah, that's off the top. You know what I'm saying? Like that's what I'm saying. Like there's something to be said about just no format. Like the way you do it. It's there's some nuance in it. It's not just it's not just coming to sit down talking. It's structure. It's no format, but it's structure, if that makes sense. How do I see life? That's a great question. I think me and my friend Walter, salute to Walter, we talk about this all the time. I always say, this is gonna sound so crazy. I always say life is so easy, right? Because other people have done it, right? Like,
right, yeah.
My mom is doing life, but she's been doing it way longer than I am. Mm-hmm. My stepdad is doing life. He's been doing it way longer. Charlemagne the God been doing it way longer. Just look at the people that have been doing it. That's why you created this platform so people can take from other people's stories and implement that into their life. You don't have to do what someone else did, the exact same step.
Right.
But you can look at it and say, you know what, I like this, but what if I can do something else different and try to go the other way? You know, or I like this, I don't want to do that route. Maybe I could do something else. You know, like, take from it and see what you can do, with it. So I think life is easy. We just make it hard because of outside factors. There are outside factors that make life hard. You know, social media being one of them. You know, people. I think social media might be the biggest one.
I think it's number one at this time. Yeah.
Yes, you get a lot of hate on there, and it discourages you from following what you want to do.
Right.
But I just cancel out those hate, man. When people say negative stuff, that's okay. Everyone's entitled to their opinion.
Right.
If someone tell you next time, I want you to remember this, right? Not you. I'm talking to like the people that are listening. Right?
Yeah.
When someone says something about you, one of my I remember I was in the East Coast and this dude I was hanging out with, just everyday regular guy. He told me one of the most important quote I'm gonna take with me for the rest of my life. He said, "How I look at creating content, if somebody say they hate what you create, ask them why. 9 times out of 10, if you hate something, you're gonna give me a reason why you hate it.
Right.
And that's a good critique. You know why? Because I can work with that reason why you hate it. I can use that and like try to work around it to create to better myself or better my skills.
Right.
But if I ask you why you hate it and you just tell me because you're trash or this, that's not a good reason. That means you're just hating. So we got to learn how to like dissect criticism, right? So that's why. So when somebody tells me that what I did was terrible or they hate this, I just ask them, why do you hate it? And if you can't give me a real reason why you hate it, then you're just hating. That's when the hating comes in. You're just a hater. So I'm not going to listen to you. You're just hating.
Yeah. It's not even worth, taking that in.
It's not.
What you're looking for is like, critiques, things that can help you, like you said, like evolve, switch perspectives or something like that. But yeah, you're right. If there's just hating just to hate, that's not even worth taking it in. It's
not worth taking. And 9 times out of 10, people are just hating just to hate. There's always that one person or, that 1% that'll tell you, I didn't like the way you did this. Like I had a back and forth with this guy. I said something about Meg Thee Stallion. I reviewed her album, and this guy was like, "That's a bad taste. That's a bad opinion." No, I think he said it was like a terrible opinion. So I asked him. I said, "Why?" He gave me a whole breakdown of why my opinion was terrible.
Yeah. And
I remember DMing him, and I was like, "Yo, that's a great reason. I like that. You know what? I'm gonna go listen to the album with that in mind." With that perspective, and maybe I'll see what you're seeing. But if he would have just told me that's a terrible opinion, I don't know what to work on now. So I'm just gonna keep doing what I'm doing now.
It's like,
yeah,
okay,
yeah, I'm just gonna keep doing what I'm doing. So just always ask people why. Like always ask people why they hate what they hate. Because 9 times out of 10, they're either just hating just to hate, because they don't like what you're doing, or they're hating because they have a constructive criticism. Right. So
that's a good way to put it. I mean, honestly, I haven't dealt with any hate yet. I've only.
It's gonna come.
I don't know. Yeah. I mean,
it's gonna come.
I mean, I'm not ready for it, but I know it's coming, right?
It's gonna come, bro. Yeah. It's gonna come. Gonna come.
I've only dealt with like naysayers. You know what I mean? But I mean, those don't really bother me.
Yeah, you gotta shake those off. Yeah, you gotta shake those off.
It's just like, yeah, I guess, but what are you doing? You know what I mean?
Yeah.
It's like, I'm trying to build something here, you know what I mean? And you're just here trying to say I can't, I guess, go ahead and waste your time.
Hey, that's why I said Jay-Z had this bar. He said, my uncle said I never sold 1 million records. I sold 1 million records like 1 million times. And like he was breaking that down. Like his uncle was telling him you couldn't sell 1 million records. Really, his uncle was telling himself.
Oh,
like,
wow.
You couldn't sell 1 million records. Just because you tried to do it and you didn't do it doesn't mean I can't do it. Yeah. It's like, yeah, man, people always tell you what you, my friend Ben J always say, people always tell you what they can't do. Mm-hmm. They never tell you what you can do. Like they always speak from their perspective because they tried it once and it didn't work. That's what the naysayers are. Like they tried it and it didn't work. So they want to put that energy on you.
Right.
No. Don't put that on me.
Yeah, dude. Man, dropping some knowledge on this podcast today, man.
No, that's I wish. This is like comment. It's like stuff I think about all the time, right? I just sit down and think about these things. So it's dope to like talk to someone, and because I used to have my own podcast, but I did that, so like I don't get to talk as much as I want to.
Why did you do that?
I don't know. It was too much going on. Like I think if I do start a podcast, I'm gonna have some sort of control, and maybe sometimes in the future. But right now, I just kind of want to have a focus, kind of like how you have a focus on this and what you're doing. I kind of wanted to have a focus on what I wanted to do, which was, you know, the interviews that I'm doing over here. You know, just being a personality, I guess.
Yeah, man. I mean, for me, focusing on this was hard, right?
Yeah.
Because I want to do so many things, right?
Mm-hmm.
It's like, I want to do this, you know. I look back at my fashion stuff and I was like, shit, I don't want to do that again. You know, I want to get back into the culture. And I want to do like, you know, like food review. I want to do everything, you know what I mean? But then like that was when I learned. I was like, nah, I need to like take a step back and focus on one thing first. I can't be putting all my time and energy in all these different things at the same time, because I'm not going to get anything done, right?
You ever thought about implementing those things, merging those things together? Like maybe talking to people in the fashion industry, talking to people who are in the what are the food industry called? I don't know the right terminology for it, but talking to people in the food industry, like I think merging those things would be good, because those are your interests, right? So merging your interests is always a good thing. Now you're a fan, right?
Mm-hmm.
So
goes back to that.
Yeah, now you talk about things that you want to know as a fan. So I think that would be dope. You know?
Yeah, man. I mean, I think that's one thing about this podcast. You know what I mean? Like, I want to bring everybody and anybody on, right? We've said it throughout this whole podcast. Everybody has a story. So it's like, I just want different perspectives on life. You know what I mean? Yeah. And I think that's really interesting. I think the more perspectives you learn and you gain, I think, like you said, life is easy.
Yeah, I know people are gonna be like, "What? Life is easy?
I got bills.
But come on, you know what I mean, right? Yeah. Obviously, we got bills to pay.
We got other outside threats,
outside factors that we talked about. Yeah, I know life is not easy. I'm just saying, like, if you narrow it down, like, there's certain things about life that is really easy, but we stress ourselves out. But sometimes it's not in our control. Like outside factors like bills and all that stuff plays into it. But sometimes things that are in our control, we let that control us. Like, how is that? How does that work? Nah, I ain't letting that control me, man. I'm not.
When you were explaining that earlier, I was thinking, man, it's kind of like because you said like there's people that's already lived or that's been living, so that's kind of like, shoot, they've already created a wheel, right?
Yeah, blueprint.
Yeah, they've created this wheel, and what's the saying, like, don't create anything new when there's already a wheel, right? Something like that. You know where I'm getting at?
Yeah,
I forgot what the saying was, but then I was like, man, it's kind of like that, because like I could create the same wheel, right? Put it on the other side, or I could create like the form of the car, or I could create the engine. You know what I mean? Taking what you've built, taking what you've already lived, either building it again, doing the same things, taking the same steps, or I could take it and throw my perspective on it and create something else that is a part of whatever that this thing is going to be created to.
Yeah.
That's what I was thinking. I don't know if that
No, that makes sense.
Yeah.
That makes sense. I look at it as Apple and Android, right? Like people always say Apple copies of Android, right? And if maybe that's true, I don't know. Yeah. But maybe I'm not an Android user. I'm an iPhone user. So
me too.
Maybe that's
iPhone
true.
All the way.
Yeah. But I know there's some service, some apps that Android people have way before Apple people, right? Or Apple user. But nothing is new under the sun. So all Apple does is just grab what's already out there,
right,
and recreate it for them and make it better. That's all it is. That's all life is. That's what I mean when I say life is easy. And that's what you mean when you're saying this wheel that's already out there that's spinning. Like, people, if you trace back, people have already done the hard work for you.
Right.
All you have to do, go back to this podcast. Like, people are already telling their stories. Mm-hmm. All you have to do is listen to somebody's story and say, I don't want to go. It doesn't have to be success. Success is how you defined it. Like, healing could be success for you. Like, healing and being in a better place mentally, physically is success for you, right? So if you listen to somebody talking about how, you know, their traumatic experience and how they were able to deal with that, that's an experience you can take instead of dealing with yours by yourself. You can listen to this podcast, listen to that person, and take from their experience and figure out how to maneuver yours. That's what I mean by it's easy. Like, people have already they've already put this wheel out there spinning. Mm-hmm. Just hop on and try to figure out how to work it in your way, right? Like, this bottle, I'm sure there was like a bottle out in like back in the day, and somebody looked at it and said, you know what, I'm gonna create a new bottle, a
different sized bottle.
Yes, there's a space. There is literally a space for every. Do you know how many podcasts are in this world?
Right.
Do you know how many podcasts people are making money off podcasting? Do you know how many blogs are in this world? I just said you like the Shade Room, Hollywood Unlocked, Neighborhood Talk, Site something. I don't remember their name, but they're all sites flourishing, right? There's space for everyone.
Yeah, right. Like, there's room for everybody to make money. Right?
Yes.
I think that's a good way to put it.
There's space for everyone. It's just about you being dedicated long enough to do this thing, right?
Right.
Because you get discouraged at the first taste of doing it. You get discouraged because it's not going your way. Mm-hmm. But the person who keeps going is gonna see a lot of results, man.
Yeah, that's true. It's like going into a cave and then you stop halfway, but then the person next to you kept going and they could see the light at the end of the tunnel.
Boom. Like that meme of the two dudes digging the cave, and then that one person was like, nah, man, I ain't doing this beat. I'm out. And he left, and the other guy was like, nah, I'm gonna keep going. I already came this far. I might as well keep going. And there was a treasure at the end, right? Mm-hmm. But that's all it is, man. That's life. You can either give up because you're not seeing the results, or you can keep pushing. And that's the crazy thing is the results might be tomorrow for someone else. For you, it might be 5 years from now. But that's just how things work, man. Like, other people get it tomorrow. Some people might get it 2 weeks from now. Others might get it 5 years from now.
Right.
But it just happens when it happens. And you just got to keep working until you get there.
Right. All right, man. We're at the end now. Been a good short hour, honestly.
I didn't even know it was an hour.
Yeah,
bro.
Dude, it's been an hour.
Wow.
Keeping the eye on the clock because I got something going on later too.
Yeah, I did not know it was an hour. It's been a great.
We definitely have to do another one though.
Yeah.
We definitely have to do another one. So, I mean, next time I could probably hop on yours whenever you make yours again.
I would love that, bro.
Yeah.
That's the thing. I wish I had. Yeah, maybe I'm gonna put something together because I have a lot of people like I know that are doing like dope stuff, and I wish I had a platform to bring them on and like come talk about the dope stuff. But I used to, but I stopped doing that for a reason. There's a reason why I stopped. But
maybe when you're less busy.
Yeah.
Because now you got a lot of things.
I don't want to do that and then not put in. Like, we was just talking about dedication. I don't want to start. I started like missing out on episodes. I started uploading things late, you know, and then that's when I realized I got to cut it out because my energy isn't there anymore.
Yeah.
So I don't want to do something where my energy isn't that because it won't see any results. But so yeah, maybe when I have time to like really do it, that'd be dope, bro. Yeah. We definitely got to lock in again.
For sure, man. And you could always come back on here.
Nah, this platform is dope. This platform is dope.
Yeah, man, we're just chilling, you know, talking about life, life lessons, talking about anything really, you know.
Nah, this is fire. And you got the nice setup. Ooh.
Dude, I had to clean this room, man.
Yeah, this is fire, bro. I like
a minute.
I enjoy this platform. I enjoy the conversation today.
Man.
This was dope.
So you got anything to plug? Have people go follow you?
Man. Yeah, man. Follow me on Instagram at RART Roques ROQUES. Follow my the neighborhood talk.
Yeah.
The neighborhood talk. Follow that on Instagram. Follow Rap Clout at Rap CLOUT. Yeah, that's on YouTube. Also, you can subscribe to the YouTube if you like up and coming artists. That you subscribe there. Yeah, man, just keep following. I'm trying to do something positive with my life. So I know a lot of people say that, but I'm trying. So follow me, man. Watch the evolution, the growth. It's gonna be dope.
Right. Yeah, I'll make sure to link everything down below in the comment section too. Yeah. Well, Art, nice to have you on. Nice to see you again, man. Glad you're doing well, for sure. Like we said, we're gonna be doing this again. So be on the lookout for Art Part 2.
Yeah. Hey, hopefully the next time we do this, I can finally say I'm in the industry.
Right.
So I can I can say that and I can maybe at that point I can tell some of the things that I didn't want to tell today because I didn't want to get in trouble. So hopefully we could get to that point. So like I always say, keep me in your prayers because Lord knows I need to be there. So pray for me and I pray for you.
Yeah, for sure, man. Yeah. Well, thank you guys for listening. If you made it to the end, please subscribe, like, share, get the word out. Make sure people find their passion and make sure people are passionate about their passion, their dreams, and everything in between. This is Austin, your host, Plan Podcast. I'll see you guys later. Peace.